Softypapa here from the Softypapa store with a treasure to share with you. Let us take a close look at this. This bowl, and it's a lidded bowl, is called an Owan in Japanese. And it's used for a variety of things. You could serve miso soup in it, or other maybe savory or interesting dishes that would require a bowl of some sort. These bowls are very special for a number of ways. Now let's zoom in for a closer look. Now, if you can take a close look, you can see the beautiful floral lacquer paint job on this. Just stunning. Hand painted, of course, and this is a handmade bowl. It's never been used. It's still in its original wrapping, as you can see, at least the bowl part is. Now if we take the lid, it's got this little bit at the top that you can pop open. It's kind of almost got like a seal in it. It's such a nice fit. It opens up, and you can see nice lacquer on the inside, painted lacquer. It's got a beautiful red base, and then the painted top. This is the bottom, of course, of the bowl, which is still, like I said, in its original paper wrapping. It's never been used, never been opened or used. Despite the fact that it's never been opened or used, I did spot one little bit of damage right there. Let's see if I can get a good look at that. Now, it looks like what that is like just a little drop of lacquer. It's kind of hard. Let me see if I can zoom in. You see what that is? It looks like just like a drop of lacquer got on there. I don't think it's a crack. I don't think that's wood showing through or anything like that. I think it's just an imperfection in the lacquer process. So let's just leave it at that. Now let's talk a little bit about these items. Bowls like this are made very carefully and by a number of different craftsmen here in Japan. It's a wooden bowl. Now you can buy bowls like this that are plastic in a more modern setting, but an older bowl like this is made of wood, and it's quite a process to make. It begins by creating 2 blocks of wood. So you'd have the one block for the bottom of the bowl, and by the way, I'm going to leave the paper on. I'm not even going to open it. I'll explain more in just a second. This would be the bottom. So imagine a rectangular, cube of fine wood, and then another one here for the lid. The cut wood would be allowed to sit and season for a very long time, like up to a year before the cutting part begins, after which point the wood craftsman would begin to form the bowl, cutting it into the shape that it would take, hollowing out the interior. You can see there's a foot there, and preparing all the rest. They would get it to a certain point, and then they would set it aside in a seasoning room to sit for another year. Then they would cut in a little further, and then sit it for another year. This process can go on for average of 3 to 5 years before the bowl is deemed ready for further processing. Let me see if I can find a place here that's got a better view of the light. At which point, once the bowl is ready to be, it's in its final form, the craftsman would bring it to this very thin shape. Now, why are they doing that? Why are they taking so long? Because giving it the time to dry and acclimate to the humidity and the atmosphere. Japan is a very hot and humid place. Wood helps to prevent the wood from cracking and will preserve the bowl's long life once it's in its finished form. Finally, after 3 to 5 years, the wood is shaped and ready to be handed over to the next craftsman, who would be applying the base lacquer. That craftsman would then typically apply for Owan bowls like this a red base lacquer. You can also have them in black or sometimes even gold, depending on the interest, but usually red is the one. Red is kind of an auspicious symbol in some ways. Bowl sets like this would usually be given out as like a wedding gift or something like that. So the couple would have a nice set of bowls to use when serving guests in their home. So that lacquer craftsman would then do their process, which could again take several coats of lacquer to get that beautiful base. The bowl might then be given to a third craftsman, or it might be the second craftsman if they have the skills, who is the artist, who will then perform the work of painting on the visual finish, like you see here. After those 3 craftsmen have done their deed, we then wrap the bowl up, put it in, create a wooden box would be created with a section for each bowl. Maybe there would be 10 bowls in a set, and a nice big wooden box would be created with little partitions. Think of it like almost like eggs in a carton, and then you have one bowl in each egg, one bowl in each section. I'm selling this. I picked this up over the weekend at the flea market, and I was able to get this one. I'm going to sell it as is. I'm not even going to open the paper because I think it's kind of neat. I'm confident that it's in good shape. I'm trusting that the craftsman would not have sold a brand new item that had a blemish or any damage in it, since it's never been used. You, the owner, whoever decides to buy it, will have the opportunity to open it, or maybe you just leave it as it is. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting display item with a story to tell. As for age, well, I'm going to say my typical mid-Shōwa period. So I'm saying, yeah, it's probably earlier than that. So I would say early to mid-Shōwa period, 1926 to the, maybe the war period, or earlier than that. The paper's in pretty good shape, and I've seen old bowls like this from like the Taishō period, which immediately preceded that, 1912 to 1926, and even Meiji period, although the Meiji period looks a little more ragged in terms of the paper. The bowls themselves will last for a very long time. They're well preserved. This item is in excellent condition, except for the one little drop of, what is that little lacquer I saw on there. And it's available if you want. Have a look at the link down in the description. I'll include some photos. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Oh, if it's not available, check around my store. Maybe there's something else you might like. Have a great day. Here's a couple photos.